really good boys, and one of them's really helpful. The other one's a really good cameraman. But we don't have to talk about him. We have to. We're all business right now. Okay. Now this other inventory, one more paperwork, and then we're going to get into some real fun. This is your reading attitude slide. This is like gives you an idea to help you learn more about yourself, and to help me learn where you are with reading. Like, where do you feel about reading? Like, if I gave you this about video games or about music or about football, you would probably have all of these strongly like. If I said, you know, practices throwing the football, strongly like, right? But these questions aren't about football. It's about how you feel about different aspects of reading. Okay? So it's strongly like, and I'm going to actually do like a big smiley. Here's a medium smiley. This is going to be a straight. This is going to be kind of a kind of don't like it, and this is a strongly don't like. Okay, so we have a strongly like it, it's okay. Don't like it, strongly don't like. Okay? And this is completing research on the internet. So your teacher gives you an assignment and says, I
never had to look up anything on the internet.
You've never had to do
anything?
anything?
I'll just put okay.
Okay. Or we could...
I wouldn't like it, or I wouldn't dislike it. So.
Do you like to do things... have you ever had to type anything on Google? Do you like to play on the computer?
I like going to ESPN and looking...
Okay, so do you like looking things up on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just put a like then if you like doing things on the computer. Okay, so if you like to do things on the computer, you can re-ask that question. How about reading my science textbook?
Strongly like.
You strongly like that. Reading my history text?
Strongly like.
Yes, you do. Reading informational, this is CD-ROMs, this means like information on the computer. This would be non-fiction information on the computer.
I never read anything like that before, so I would just put okay. I wouldn't like it or dislike it.
Okay, we're gonna. If you've never done it, we're gonna write in A because reading informational books for a school project. These are informational, so that means they're non-fiction. There's true information.
Like
You like it? Just like. Reading realistic fiction.
Don't like.
Okay, you do not like it? Have you read something like that?
Yeah. It's more like sci-fi though.
How about, okay, realistic fiction means it's like...
Yeah, it could happen now, but it's like a story of someone that could really happen.
Okay, alright. How about historical fiction books?
No, not really. I mean, kind of.
Okay, so how about don't like? You want to say don't like?
I would say okay.
You want to say okay. What about poetry?
Don't like. Strongly don't like.
Strongly don't like. How about funny books?
I've never read a funny book.
So, you've never read a Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Those aren't funny.
They're supposed to be.
Oh, they are?
What do you want to say with that? Strongly don't like?
Just put it okay.
Okay.
I didn't know Diary of a Wimpy Kid was supposed to be funny.
Reading the comics in a newspaper.
The comics. They're not that funny, so I would put strongly don't like.
Strongly don't like. Reading the sports section of a newspaper.
Strongly like.
Reading a sports...
Strongly like.
Reading People's Magazine.
Like.
How about...
Strongly don't like.
Reading a fashion magazine. Strongly don't like.
Yeah.
Reading Newsweek or Time magazine.
Is that news?
Yeah.
Don't like.
Listening to classmates read.
Like, because I don't have to do the reading.
No. I'm going to make a note of your comment. Listening to my teacher read. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Reading in front of my peers. That means classmates. You don't like?
Mm-mm.
Reading on the weekend.
If it's something interesting,
So what
like
is it?
oceans.
So you want to say okay?
Yeah.
Learning to become a better reader.
Okay, I guess.
So you're kind of
I like
excited
reading
that
more
we're going to have
difficult
these
books.
chats together and be able to improve this. Are you excited about that?
I like reading more difficult for like that one. I like reading more difficult ocean books and when they have big words in it.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Stretching yourself.
Stretching my
That's
knowledge.
good. Do you
Vocabulary.
consider yourself a good reader?
Yes,
Why?
because I understand most vocabulary, I am able to comprehend, and I am able to generalize the stuff and get the main idea of the book. Find morals and fables and stuff.
Okay. Do you like to help other classmates with their reading problems?
No.
You don't? Why don't you like to help people?
When you put it that way.
Well, that's the way it was. Why don't you like to help them with their reading problems?
Because they're not my problems.
That's how you feel?
I don't know how to teach people how to read.
It's hard. There's nothing wrong with it. What's the hardest thing for you to do in reading?
Read poems. I don't understand them.
They can be really hard.
Most of them don't even rhyme.
I remember one time I was reading a poem,
Fevers.
and I think it was in high school, and I studied that poem, and I'm looking at it, and I was pretty sure I knew I had this, and I was so confident that I was like, okay, I'm going to share this, and I couldn't have been more off on my answer. It was like, that's a good try, but no. Poems are hard, but I have to say they have a purpose. They can be pretty, they can be soothing. Sometimes they sound really nice, and some of them I can make sense of.
Yeah, it's just some of those ones that don't rhyme at all.
And sometimes they choose different words to have that rhythm that, and they confuse you. So I'm with you on that. They can be very hard, but you can work on that. I think that's a good answer for that. And what do you do as best as a reader?
Wasn't that the first question?
No, it's do you consider yourself a good reader? What do you think is your best attribute as a reader?
Basically all that stuff up there.
Your skills, your reading skills then?
My reading skills.
Do you think you're smooth? Do you think you're fast?
I'm not fast. Some of the kids in class are fast.
Okay. So then...
I'm okay. I'm not fast or slow.
So do you think vocabulary and comprehension and areas of comprehension are your best skills? Okay. I'll write that. Okay. I think this helps me to get to know you. That's it. This helps me to get to know you, and this also gives me an idea on what books to get you. What we're going to do for our activity is we're going to look at this book that you are excited about. And you can start off by just taking a look at some of the pages of the book. And we would take 5 minutes or so to take a look at the book.
Ooh, that was cool.
Okay, and apparently he wants to take the time to read it, so...
That's a cool jellyfish.
I'm just going to skip this through that. That's fine, you can look at it.
That's fine.
Okay, and as we go through this, I'm going to ask you, let's look at some of these words while we're looking through some of the pages.
Pesticides, pollutants.
Let's look. What do you notice have in common with these words, pesticides and pollutants?
They both have suffixes.
Okay.
And
What do you know about suffixes?
they come at the end of the word.
Good.
What else is there to know about that?
I don't know. You just tell me. I'm just picking out some things that have in common. What about landlocked? What can you tell me about that? We're looking for just word patterns. I'm looking for really basic skills. Seeing if you have
I
anything.
don't know what landlocked means.
Okay. How many syllables are in landlocked?
2.